Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More, and welcome to another one of our real estate investing videos. Today in this video, I'm talking about how to figure out what offer to accept. So we do a lot of house flips. We flipped 15 houses last year, which was actually a down year for us. We're planning to do 27 this year. I'll talk about that in my recent goal video. But when we're listing these flips, a lot of times we will get multiple offers, or we get an offer that we have to decide if it's smart to accept or not accept or wait. There's a lot that goes into it. So I'm going to talk about that and use some examples of some recent properties where we had multiple offers or we got an offer that we didn't accept. So, of course, before we get into that, check out investformore.com for much more information on our flips, rentals, being an agent, wholesaling, all kinds of good stuff there. And we have lots of books on Amazon as well if you want more in-depth information. All right, so we had a recent flip that we put on the market. We listed it for $295,000. We got 7 offers in the first day. Now, this house 2 months ago probably would have sold for just under $300,000. And we were hesitant to price it much higher because we didn't think it would appraise. There weren't many other comps out there. There weren't a lot of other properties for sale in that price range, but we knew buyers wanted it. So we kind of thought this might happen if we listed it this high. So we listed it and got these offers. Now, first off, as the seller, there's a few things we do to try and get the best offers, the most offers we can. Now, if you see our flips, you can see many of our flips in our other videos. We always repair them, do paint, flooring, all the repairs like that. We also stage them. Staging has a huge impact on selling our properties. We notice an immediate impact when we stage properties. And once in a while we don't stage properties because Nikki, who's my project manager, has all our stuff on other properties, doesn't have enough staging stuff. We notice it when we don't stage them, but they take longer to sell. We often don't get as many offers. So that has been really important for us to do, is to always stage our properties. Now, we stage them. We make sure they're clean, right? We don't go through there with a broom and sweep up the obvious stuff. We have them professionally cleaned, make sure they smell good, and we get professional photos done. So we have a professional photographer come in there, take pictures. After it's staged, makes it look so much better than if it wasn't staged and I'm taking pictures. I like to think I'm a professional photographer. I am not. I can tell the difference between a professional and myself when I'm taking pictures. So doing those things often helps us get faster offers and more offers, which is a good thing. Now, with these offers, there's a lot of things we have to consider, right? It helps that I'm a real estate agent. So the first thing that I usually look at when I get an offer is who's the agent who's sending it to me and who is the buyer's lender. So as a seller looking to accept an offer coming in on my house, I always 100% want to see a pre-qualification letter. So I want a letter or a pre-approval letter from the buyer's lender saying, hey, we've checked their credit, we've done a preliminary search, we think they can buy this house, they can qualify for this much. Always want that before I even look at that offer. That's like the number one rule. If it's a cash offer, I want to see a proof of funds letter or a letter from the bank saying, hey, they have enough money to buy this house. That can save a lot of time because, believe it or not, there are people out there, there are agents out there who will submit offers when the buyers have never even talked to a lender, when they say they have cash and they literally don't have cash. So you want to make sure, first things first, you have that letter either for cash or for the loan. So once we have that, I look at the lender, I look at the agent. Now, why do I do that? I've been in real estate almost 20 years now, which is crazy. It seems insane it's been that long, but I can't change that. Well, I could quit real estate, I guess, but I can't change how long I've been in it. The quality of agent, the quality of lender makes a gigantic impact on the chance of the property to close. Over and over again, really good agents who I know in the area, who are experienced, who've been around for a long time, will get deals done and closed, even if problems come up. Really good lenders, the same thing, can usually figure out a solution. They don't say, they can do a loan when they end up not being able to do a loan. And likewise, there are really bad agents and there are really bad lenders. And over again, we have problems when we use that agent, when that lender says they have a pre-qualification letter. So, hey, situations happen, bad things happen once in a while, right? We've had clients who have backed out of deals. We've had clients who we thought could get a loan on a property. Something happened. Something was missed, right? Mistakes happen. However, I'm talking about over and over and over again. And being in real estate for so long, being in the same area, doing a lot of deals, I'm able to see who those people are. And I may or may not have a little list to keep track of those names. I won't give that away or not. So if we get an offer and it's from a particular lender, I will do my best to find another offer every time besides accept that offer. And it sucks having to do that. I know it's not the buyer's fault. Sometimes it's not the agent's fault, although a lot of times the agents will have lenders that they recommend to buyers, certain lenders they always want to use. But I've got to look out for my deals, for myself when selling these. If you have a deal fall through, it will cost you money every single time. You want the first deal that comes in and goes under contract to close. Because if you have to put the house back on the market, you almost always get fewer offers, lower offers, and people wonder what's wrong with the house, even if it's not your fault, even if it's the lender's fault. So I want to make sure it goes through the first time. How do lenders mess up? Well, we've had a certain lender in this area not check credit before pre-qualifying. Yes. Missing a bankruptcy in the last 3 years before pre-qualifying. Thinking that because a buyer did not have credit, that they would get them a credit card and establish credit within 30 days so they could close a loan. And not ordering an FHA appraisal on time when they were supposed to, and then not reporting that to the FHA, all from the same lender, right? This is not like different lenders. This all happened with the same lender. And I would say 95% of lenders in our area are pretty good. 50% are awesome. And then there's 10% who are not very good. So if we get multiple offers and that lender shows up, we will almost always eliminate them unless they're just far and away the highest offer. And a lot of times we'll even tell another agent, hey, we've had bad experiences with this lender before. Is there any other option for your buyers? And again, I feel kind of bad doing that. But at the same time, this lender has proven over and over again that they can't get the job done. So that's how we deal with it. The same thing for some agents too. Like, I'm not saying we never will take an offer, we'll never do a deal with them. Well, I'm not saying that about that lender either. We've done deals with them, but we'd be very, very careful. Stay on top of things. Make sure the appraisal's ordered. Make sure the credit's good. We literally have to talk to that lender every few days to make sure things are going well. With other agents, the same kind of thing. We know one agent who every single deal we know they're going to ask for like $10,000 or $15,000 in inspection work. Every single deal. They tell their clients to do that, and it makes me not want to accept those offers because I know that's going to happen. So again, it sucks because it hurts the buyer, and it's not the buyer's fault, but we have to think about those things when we're accepting offers. Now, how does that apply to you? Well, you might not be an agent, you might have an agent, but it's a reason to use an experienced agent when you're selling a house. And it's okay to ask that agent, hey, if we get an offer, like, do you know anything about this agent? Have you had any problems? Do you know anything about this lender? Have you had any problems? And they might be able to help you avoid a bad situation. So that's the first thing we look at. Lender, agent. Of course, we look at the price on these offers that come in, right? We had 7 offers come in, and we want to look at the price, see what's going on. Now, once we get these multiple offers too, right, we almost always notify every single agent, hey, we have multiple offers. We received your offer. We already had one, or we got another one. We're giving everybody until 5 p.m. tomorrow to give us their best offer. Right? I don't call for highest and best because that annoys some people. I don't know why, because it's what we're doing. But I say, hey, if you want to improve your offer, hey, give it to us by 5 tomorrow. Otherwise, if you want to leave the same, that's fine. But we let them know there's other offers, give them a chance to improve the offer if they want to. A lot of times those offers will increase when we do that. So that helps us get stronger offers, not only in price, but people know they're competing against other offers. Sometimes they'll put an appraisal provision in. It says, hey, we'll cover a low appraisal by $5,000. I mean, they'll bring $5,000 more in cash if there's a low appraisal. Because when there is a low appraisal, often the seller has to lower the price if the buyer has no cash. So if that appraisal provision is in there, that's a big plus to us. If there's a lot more earnest money, sometimes that shows us they have more cash, they might be a stronger buyer. If there's more money down, like if they're using, zero down USDA loan, barely have enough money for the earnest money, they might not be as strong as another buyer who's putting 20% down or 25% down. And seeing that bigger down payment lets us know, hey, they might be a stronger buyer. And if there's an appraisal issue where it appraises low, they might have more cash to bring as well, where we can make that deal work. So we do run into appraisal issues sometimes. I have another video that goes over all the appraisal stuff. So if you want to check that out, search for Invest for More in Appraisal, or I'll try and remember to put it in the link below. If I don't, remind me, comments, I will do it. So we tell everyone to bring us our best offer, and sometimes they use escalation clauses, right? Escalation clause is, hey, Bob and Joe offer $200,000. However, if there are any competing offers over $200,000, Bob and Joe or Josie agree to increase their offer $1,000 more than the other competing offer, up to $210,000. So basically, they're saying, hey, if another offer comes in at 205, we'll offer 206. And so those can get you higher offers, but just remember, as the seller, you don't have to agree to an escalation clause. A lot of times those escalation clauses say, hey, our offer has to be $1,000 more than the next highest offer, and you have to show us that other offer so we know it's true. Well, guess what? If I don't sign that contract, I don't have to do that. I can counter you and say, hey, I'll accept 206 or 210 even, but the escalation clause is voided. And I do that on every contract, even if I agree with everything in the escalation clause, because that clause can get confusing to the title company. They don't know the exact price. So we always counter that with the exact price, remove that clause. I don't have to show them anything. I don't have to justify my counter to them. There you go. You can take that price or not. I know you already told me you're going to pay that price. So the escalation clause, a lot of times, buyers thinks it helps them. A lot of times it can actually hurt them if there's a seller who wants to, play that game with them. So now if I have one offer that brings me an escalation clause, if I'm doing things right, I should tell every single other buyer, hey, your other competing offer over here, they included an escalation clause. So since they did that, I want to let you know you can put one in too if you want. You don't have to, but just know they put one in. And so then if everybody has escalation clauses, then you're actually getting the top dollar. And honestly, you don't have to tell them what the other offers are if, like I just said, you don't agree to the escalation clause, you counter, and it's voided. But I like to tell everybody if we do accept it. Banks, I did a lot of REO work, foreclosures, sold properties for banks. They would not accept escalation clauses. They just wanted straight offers, would not accept the escalation. So you don't have to accept escalation either. You can just say, hey, I want to accept that. Give me your full offer. Lots of ways to do it. So now we have these offers, and we have to think about, okay, how do we know what the best offer is? Let's say the agents are good, the lenders are good. You look at price, that makes a difference. Like we said, we look at down payment, earnest money, that can make a difference. You also look at closing date, right? If a property is closing in 30 days, that's good for me. I'm selling a house flip, it's vacant, I pay utilities, I pay taxes, I pay maintenance for shoveling snow and mowing the grass, all while I own this property. I pay homeowners insurance. So the sooner the closing is, the more money I make. So if I have a 30-day close versus a 60-day close, right, that can save me thousands of dollars to close earlier. Plus, if I know there's a problem, an issue, or we have to put it back on the market, I'd much rather know sooner than later. So that 30-day close is much more appealing to me for a number of different reasons. So the sooner the close date, the better. So that's something we look at. If we have a sooner close date, a couple $1,000 difference, sometimes we'll take the lower offer to close faster because it just makes everything else go better, gets our money moving faster, and it saves us money as far as all the carrying costs that we'll have on the property. Something else we'll think about is the type of loan the buyers have, right? Cash is amazing. I would love it if all our offers were cash and there was no loan, but that rarely happens, right? We're trying to get top dollar for our properties. Usually it's not a cash buyer, although once in a while they do come along. It's usually a loan. It can be FHA, it can be VA, it can be USDA, it can be conventional, it can be CHFA. There's all types of different kinds of loans. Now, we sell lots of FHA houses to people who use FHA all the time. It's not a horrible loan. It's not the worst. Some people say, I won't do FHA. We do FHA all the time. Now, if you get a low appraisal, that appraisal will stick with the home for 6 months, and even a new FHA buyer still has to use that same appraisal. But you could still sell the VA, you can sell the conventional, so it's not the end of the world. You can also get those appraisals raised sometimes. Like I said in my other video, I talk about that. So that's not the end of the world. VA isn't the end of the world either, although it can be a little tricky with VA because sometimes they're backed up, the appraisals are backed up, so it can take longer. If you're using like CHAFA, which is a Colorado low down payment assistance program, that can be a great program, but it can take 8 weeks or longer for that to go through. So that's a consideration. Like, they're saying they want to close in 4 or 5 weeks, but it's probably not really going to happen because I know CHAFA, and CHAFA is going to ask for 10 different things, and it's going to take forever. So that's something to consider too, is what type of loan it is. And honestly, if you're not an agent, you can ask your agent and ask for their input on these things. And if they're experienced and have been around for a while, they should be able to help you decide, hey, what's the most important thing to look at? Money, down payment, looking at the loans, the lenders, all of these different things, they can help you out with that. Finally, one of the most important things we look at, and can often be a deal killer, is what if they have another house to sell before they can buy this house? So it's called a contingent offer, where they have to sell their house, close on it, then they can buy your house. A lot of things can go wrong with that. We do it all the time, but if we can avoid contingent offers, we will take another offer all the time, even if it's lower priced, because a lot of times those contingent offers can have things go wrong. They might not be able to sell their house, they might overprice it, they might get an offer, but then that offer falls apart, we have to start all over. It can tie up a property for a long time. So if we can avoid those contingent offers, we really like to take an offer that does not have a contingency with it. All right, so I think I covered just about everything we look at. Now that house we listed for $295, like I said, we had 7 offers on it. The best offer was $311, I think. Or was it $315? It's way above. And they said they covered $5,000 if the appraisal came in low. So that's a huge bonus. It was a quick closing, an agent and lender that we know and have done deals with before. Great people, professionals, no house to sell. The inspection date was within 10 days. Another thing to look at, if you have a really long inspection date, that can mean you're going to lose the contract in 3 weeks instead of 2 weeks or 1 week. So we like to see inspection dates in 10 days, 2 weeks at the most, to keep things tight. And if we know there's a problem, we know it right away. A lot of different things to look at, but like I said, an agent can help you figure that out. And experience can help you figure it out if you are an agent. But the most important things are pretty much, if you've got a house to sell, the time it takes to close, the lender, getting that pre-qual letter, and really the down payment, I think, is a big difference too on how solid the buyers look. Now, we sell to FHA all the time. I'm not saying you can't sell to low down payment buyers. We love to get them into houses, but everything equal, right? A down payment usually means we're going to do better in the end. All right, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. Love the likes, the comments. If you have any other questions, leave them below. I'll try to answer them. And of course, check out investformore.com for much more information on our flips, rentals, being an agent, wholesaling, all that great stuff, and our books on Amazon. We'll be back with many more videos, so love to see those new subscribers.